Hey guys, Zeno here. This is my first Master Duel video that I'll be posting. I'm going to be showing a replay of a deck that I call in our Exodia. Now you do see cards like Morphing Jar and the Head of Exodia, which are ultra rare and super rare, but other than that, every other card in the deck is either a normal or rare rarity. And this is the first duel that I did in online online mode. Now I do start out by playing the Morphing Jar down because as most people know with Exodia, the goal is to draw out your deck as fast as possible. So I did that. Now I am not totally familiar with Dragon Unity, but I do recognize that my opponent is playing Dragon Unity and not being totally familiar with this deck. I did go ahead and obliterate right away, sending away the left arm of Exodia so that way I can put his Dragon Unity monster back. He then plays 1-for-1 into Striker Dragon. Now I do realize here that I am dealing with a little bit better Link deck. I do have the Book of Moon and I will play that right away to stop the ability of the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Now that he would have been able to special summon another dragon monster from his hand or graveyard using that, and I thought it was important to stop that. He then will go right back into another Striker Dragon. He is going to Exceed summon or Link summon into. As you can see, he did destroy my Morphing Jar and gave us both 5 new cards. He is, after going into his 5 new cards, he is going into his Chaos Ruler. Now, for those of y'all that play in real life, this card is banned. It is a good card for dark and light decks, but like I said, if you're playing in real life, it's banned. I'm not quite sure why Master Duel and real life, their ban list and limited list are different, but you know, if it's available, might as well use it if it works with your deck. He is going to go into Borrelend Dragon here, and what I don't think he realizes when he brings back these monsters, obliterate, and you'll see right away I am going to obliterate, getting rid of the right arm this time, and putting his Borrelend Dragon back into his extra deck. Now at this point I did realize he is running a massive deck list here. The reason I play Cauldron of the Old Man is so that way I can gain light points. Being that this isn't a super OP drawing deck for Exodia, I do want to get my light points as high as possible to try to avoid losing as fast as possible, obviously. He's going to go and play some more Dragon Unity. See, there's the effect of the Darkness Metal Dragon. He's going to go and do his whole big play. He's going to resummon his Borrelend Dragon. At that point, I'm going to obliterate and send his Borrelend Dragon back, sending away the left leg of Exodia. Is that what I did? Or sorry, the right leg of Exodia. And then he played Called by the Grave. So that does banish one of my pieces of Exodia, so my win condition of Exodia is gone here. I did start to freak out a little bit, knowing that I have to try and win without using Exodia. So at this point I'm just trying to mill out my deck, get cards to try and help me win. Keep going with the getting rid of the pieces. Now I did remember here, because he summoned Chaos Ruler from the graveyard, by removing it from the field with Obliterate, instead of it going back into his extra deck, it gets banished as it says on the card. So that is a downside to Chaos Ruler, but like I said, it is a very powerful card, and it is banned in real life. At this point, I'm just grabbing cards out of my deck and I'm trying to figure out what to do. I do go ahead and you play my second cauldron so that way I can start gaining more life points. And I play Jar Turtle because I do run Jar of Greed in this deck as another draw card for here. That will allow me to draw into Exodia faster, unfortunately, because the piece of Exodia was destroyed. That I'm not going to be able to win that way, so I'm trying to figure out what else I can do. At this point, as you saw, I did use my Book of Moon, turning his Rocket Tracer to defense and destroying it with Mystic Tomato. I felt getting that monster off the field as fast as possible was the best way to go about that. At this point, he is just trying to he is freaking out and not really sure what to do. And it was about this point I realized I have enough life points. There is a second effect to Cauldron. Instead of gaining 500 life points for each counter, I can inflict 300. And I realized right then that was going to be my win condition. And so I keep attacking and destroying his monsters. Now at this point, he did remove his Dragon Ravine field spell and placed another one face down, so that way he could play his Lightning Storm. Now what he doesn't realize yet is my win condition is actually these Cauldrons, and he elects to destroy all my attack position monsters. Fearing my Mystic Tomato, he destroyed my Mystic Tomato. That was a huge misplay on his part. At this point, I draw into my third Cauldron, knowing that he misplayed and can't stop my attacks. I'm going to go ahead and just go straight for the damage here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now he does banish 3 cards from his graveyard in order to summon Chaos Dragon Levineer. Now with Chaos Dragon Levineer, since he banished both light and dark, he can destroy any 2 cards on the field, but he cannot attack this turn. He decides to go for my Cauldron with the most tokens because he knows that will do the most damage. And then he decides to go for Obliterate there. I thought maybe he was going to go for my second Cauldron because that still would have delivered more damage to him next turn. I don't think he realized he couldn't attack this turn. So I'm not really sure what his thinking was there. At this point, I decide just to go straight for the damage because I know that is my only win condition at this point. And then he draws, and at this point he realized he could not win this turn, and my Cauldrons were going to finish him off on my next turn, and so he surrendered. But yeah, this was a crazy duel. Mini cards, but here's the deck list I ran. So like I said, my only super rare and ultra rare is 1 Morphing Jar and 1 Exodia. I did run Exodia Carnet. I thought maybe that was going to be my win condition at some point with having the pieces of Exodia in the graveyard, having a strong monster like that. But other than that, I really didn't have a way to win that duel. It was just a crazy duel for me, and I hope y'all enjoyed watching. More duel content to come.